There is a silence that follows a storm, not empty, but full of breath held too long, full of tears finally released, full of the quiet miracle of still being here. This is the silence that fills the Ingalls cabin on the morning Mary opens her eyes, truly opens them, and sees her mother's face not through the haze of fever, but with clear, steady recognition. "Ma," she whispers, her voice a thread of sound, frayed but unbroken. Caroline doesn't move. She doesn't dare blink. For days, she has lived in the liminal space between this world and the next, her heart suspended in the space between Mary's shallow breaths. Now, in this single word, the world rights itself. She takes her daughter's hand, cool now, not burning, and presses it to her cheek. "I'm here, my love," she says, her voice thick with tears she's held back for too long. "I've been here all along, but the storm has left its mark. Scarlet fever may have retreated, but it stole something on its way out, Mary's hearing. At first, they hope it's temporary, the muffled quiet of illness, the cotton wool effect of exhaustion. But as days pass, the truth becomes undeniable. Mary doesn't turn when Laura calls from the other room. She doesn't startle at the crash of a dropped pot. She watches mouths now, not eyes. She leans in close, her brow furrowed as if trying to catch words on the air like butterflies. Dr. Baker confirms it gently, his voice low so Mary won't see his lips form the words she can no longer hear. The fever damaged the nerves. It's permanent. The word hangs in the air like frost on a window pane. Sharp, cold, final. Laura is the first to break. She runs to the barn, sobbing into the hay. "It's my fault," she cries to no one. "I didn't read the Psalms loud enough. I didn't pray hard enough." Charles finds her there. He doesn't offer empty comfort. He simply sits beside her in the straw and says, "God doesn't measure love in volume, Laura. He measures it in presence. And you were there. Every day." Caroline, meanwhile, does what she has always done. She acts. She begins speaking slowly, clearly, shaping each word with her lips so Mary can read them. She learns to tap Mary's shoulder before speaking, so she won't be startled. She hangs a small bell on the kitchen door, not for sound, but for movement, so Mary will see it sway when someone enters. And Laura, she becomes Mary's bridge to the world. She sits with her for hours, spelling out stories with her fingers on Mary's palm, a language only they understand. She draws pictures to explain the weather, the news, the gossip from school. She even learns to stomp rhythms on the floor so Mary can feel the beat of Pa's fiddle through the soles of her feet. Charles builds a special bench by the window, lined with smooth wood that carries vibration. When he plays "The Lord is my shepherd" on his fiddle, Mary places her hands on the bench and closes her eyes, not to hear, but to feel the music move through her bones. And the town? Slowly, beautifully, they begin to return. Not with pity. That would be a kind of violence. But with presence. Mr. Edwards carves a wooden bird with wings that flutter in the wind, a visual song for Mary to watch. The schoolchildren leave drawings on the fence, bright suns, smiling cows, a girl with braids reading a book, stories told in color, not sound. Even Harriet Olson, stiff and proper as ever, brings a lace handkerchief embroidered with a lamb. For when she cries, she tells Caroline, her voice softer than anyone has ever heard it. But the true test comes on Sunday. Mary asks to go to church. The family hesitates. The noise, the crowds, the hymns she can't hear, it might be too much, but Mary is firm. "I want to be where God is," she signs, her hands steady. So they go. Mary sits in the front pew, her hands resting on the wooden bench. The congregation rises to sing, "The Lord is my shepherd." Voices swell, rich, harmonious, full of faith. Mary doesn't hear a note, but she feels it. In the floorboards vibrating beneath her feet, in the rise and fall of her mother's chest beside her, in the tears tracing silent, paths down Caroline's cheeks, and in that moment, she understands something deeper than sound. God's voice isn't only in the ears, it's in the hands that hold you, in the eyes that never look away, in the love that learns a new language just to say, "I'm here." Now, the Lord is my shepherd. Part 2 is more than an ending. It's a beginning. In 1974, television rarely portrayed disability with dignity, especially not in children. Most shows used illness as a plot device, a tragedy to be overcome or a lesson to be learned. But Michael Landon, who wrote this two-part story, refused that narrative. He didn't show Mary getting better. He showed her becoming whole, not by regaining her hearing, but by being fully seen, fully loved, fully included in a world that could have left her behind. Karen Grassle, as Caroline, embodies a truth every caregiver knows. Love isn't about fixing. It's about adapting. It's about saying, "Your world has changed, and I'll learn to live in it with you." And Melissa Sue Anderson, as Mary, brings a quiet grace to her transformation that still moves viewers to tears 50 years later. Her strength isn't in defiance, but in acceptance, the kind that says, "This is my life now, and I will live it well." Historically, scarlet fever was one of the leading causes of childhood death and disability in the 1800s. Many survivors, like the real Mary Ingalls, lost their hearing or sight. They were often hidden away, deemed unfit for society, but Little House dared to show something radical. A disabled child is not a burden. She is a gift, and a community that makes space for her is a community that honors the image of God in everyone. Today, this story echoes with urgent relevance. In a world that still measures worth by productivity, ability, and normalcy, "The Lord is my shepherd" whispers a countercultural truth. Your value isn't diminished by what you've lost. It's revealed in how you're held. So if this journey moved you, if you've ever walked through your own valley of the shadow or held someone else's hand through theirs, I'd be honored to hear your story. Drop a comment below. Where did you find your shepherd? If this 52-minute storytelling of "The Lord is My Shepherd" Part 2 touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to SG Top Celebrities, and hit the bell so you never miss another story that heals, teaches, and reminds us that even in silence, love speaks the loudest. Thank you for walking this sacred path with the Ingalls family. As Ma once said, "The Lord is my shepherd," and sometimes He sends us each other to be His hands, His eyes, His voice. Until next time, be someone's shepherd. The world needs more gentle guides.